had to rest the mic in between my miniature breasts to hold up the mic to clap because I forgot to bring my mic stand.
Well, that's how we roll in regular
girls.
Yeah,
multi-purpose titties. That's what I call these.
That's the name of the episode. Multi-purpose titties. Welcome to Regular Girls. Renee is back, and it's instantly classy again.
I am back. Hey, how was it without me? Did you guys have a good time or what?
We had a great time. Brendan came and was convinced everyone would hate him, but people were nice. Everyone was quite nice.
Why do you think people were going to hate him?
Because the second that they hear, like, welcome to Regular Girls.
But to be fair, we do get a lot of people that want to know about being a regular boy. So
they do.
I think that he just kind of was the icebreaker. He is the...
I think he...
Oh,
what?
Go ahead. I was trying to think of the name and then it left me anyways. But he's really like spearheading the regular boy movement.
He really is. And he really had a fantastic time. But he did call me out on my lack of crystals. And I did get some heat. But we came back together at the end.
Wait, so you didn't bring up the crystals. Brendan brought up the crystals.
Well, I was giving a crystal update from a listener, and Brendan was like, I don't even know why you talk about crystals so much. You don't even have crystals.
Oh
and
my God, he called you out like that?
I know. And I was like, well, I have a book. And also the last time I bought crystals, you called them $30 rocks.
Yeah, get off of it. So I actually do have a crystal update. Dun, 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 crystal update.
This is amazing.
John and I went up to Zion this week, which is beautiful, stunning, unreal. It's like such a movie backdrop and unlike anything else you've ever seen. So on our way, I was insistent that we stop and buy some crystals for our cabin because you talked about the cabin you went to and that it was covered in rose quartz. So I went and bought some rose quartz. I bought maybe 6 of them. They're so great, but I put them just kind of like sporadically around the cabin.
Oh, Renee.
Some by the bed, some in the kitchen, and then some in the bathroom for good crystal pooping juju.
You need that.
You need it because you never know what's going to happen in the woods.
No.
So yeah, we stopped at this really great place. God, I wish I remembered the name of it. I don't even have a picture of it, but it was just called like Gems. And we passed it, and we were like just on the outskirts of getting into like the strip of Zion. And yeah, there was like this really old woman and she was like so weirded out by John. Cause he's like walking around, but he has a black eye cause he took a boot in the face at WrestleMania. So he's walking around with this black eye and she's like, what happened to the other guy? And he's of course like playing it cool. Just like, oh, I don't know. I fell off a bike. Like as if he's like in some like domestic abuse situation as if other than just saying I took a boot in the face cause I'm a professional wrestler. Anyways, and she like shook his hand, and apparently he didn't give her a firm enough handshake.
Oh my God!
And she totally called him out on it. It was very great. But I think she kind of thought that I did it because she was like, "Make sure you take care of him." I'm like, he's fine.
He's fine, lady.
He's fine. I assure you, that's the least of his problems right now. So we went up to Zion, and so I got the crystals. They were great, all great juju up there. But I was only there for a couple days. Brought them back home, set them up around my kingdom that I call home. Yes. Put them around the house. And everything's been very good juju since then.
Such good juju.
Some juju that I haven't even been able to talk about yet.
It's exciting.
But it's very exciting. Great juju. God, I guess next week we'll probably be able to talk about this a little bit more.
I'm excited. People won't even believe it.
They won't even believe it. Do you know what it is? Do you think that the crystals made this happen?
I think so. I think it just aligned. I think it aligned a circumstance that just worked out perfectly.
I hope so. I hope that anyone listens to this is like a couple days after we posted it so they know what we're talking about right now.
Yes.
So I did that. Another thing happened. I found out that I have a crippling fear of heights.
Oh, wow.
So
let's unpack that.
So there's this hike that you do in Zion called Angel's Landing.
John's
been dying to do this for so long. I'm like, okay, great. We'll go do it. It's like one of the main things to check off of our list of being in Zion. So you get there. It's actually like almost like Disneyland-ish. You like take a bus and they drop you off. And like most of the trail is all like it's cemented, it's stoned. Like it's really, really beautiful. But you get up to the top and I think you're like, I want to say you're almost like maybe about 5,000 feet.
Jesus
elevation.
Christ.
Like, you're really, really high. So you get up to like what isn't the top part, but that's when that's when shit starts to get serious. So it like plateaus out. It's like a nice little sandy bit. And then you go past that to the terrifying part of what they call Angel's Landing. So when you do Angel's Landing, it drops down on both sides. It's probably like a 6-foot wide, like walking path. And it drops down on both sides. There's no railing. There's nothing. But on the way up to get to that, you have to hold on to these chains and like scale your way up about like 50 feet.
What a nightmare.
So I'm up there and John's behind me and he's just kind of like sussing out the situation. But like I felt very in charge of the situation. I'm like, why am I leading this? There's also like, it's terrifying, but there's also, like, there are children and just like whatever. Like there's like people in like, there was people in there on sandals, which I don't understand why or how. It's the stupidest thing I could ever imagine.
Weird.
I had on like full hiking shoes. But I got partway up and I turned around and I faced John and I like kind of looked down, which obviously it's a huge mistake, but there's nowhere else to really look. You're 5,000 feet up. What am I supposed to look directly into the sun and also die? So I look at him, I look down, and I'm like sweating and all I can think is how I need to get back to proper solid ground. So I'm like, I can't do it. I can't go. So I backed out, had to scale back down, which is actually more terrifying than going up because you're still holding on to this chain to get yourself back down. And there's people passing you that are going upstream that are very rude hikers. I passed like this one child that was like, I'm climbing for God today. And it was like, there was so much. I was like, I'm on like such sensory overload right now. But then John ended up continuing on to go do the rest of Angel's Landing, which goes out. I know part of me was like, am I saying goodbye to you forever right now? Like this, what's happening? He survived. He's well and healthy right now. But I just had to sit there and wait for him to come back. But it's like a good, like at least like 30 minutes more. It's like another half mile from where I stopped. It's very, very scary. And the whole way back down, I was like against the wall. I never thought that I was afraid of heights, but this scared the shit out of me. Like it made me feel like a cartoon when their eyes are like, ooga. Like I was like that.
Well, first of all, you're like, oh, we just went on this hike, and then there was this chain, and there was like, it's like, no, thank you.
It was like
absolutely
death-defying.
not.
Yeah, it was really terrifying.
God, the next vacation you guys go on, just go to like a beach. What are you guys doing?
Oh, somebody's knocking at my door, I think. 1 second.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm nervous. This might be how I die. Hold on.
Oh my God. You guys, we are talking about conspiracy theories today, so I really hope Renee does not get murdered with this knock on the door.
Bottle of water. She came to bring me a bottle of water.
That's so nice. I did just say to everyone listening, in case I don't edit this out, that we are talking about conspiracy theories today, so if you got murdered, I mean, I would just be seeing one.
Could you imagine? Wait, did I get a personal letter?
What?
No, I thought it was a letter. I thought it was a stalker or some kind of murderer, some kind of Boston strangler. It's not.
Oh my
it's okay.
God.
It's just from the Omni Hotel.
I was just sitting here being like, I kind of want your life if you're getting personalized letters from the hotel staff.
Wouldn't that be great? They like send up like a cheese tray or something. God, that would be the best. Some champagne in a cheese tray. That's all I want.
Brendan once shot a commercial in Prague, and the only reason they had to go there was because a cat knew how to do a specific trick. Anyways,
what was the trick?
I don't know. He jumped in a hole or something, and and so Brendan got to go to Prague, and he got like, I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, but he got like flown first class, and he got to go to this 5-star resort or a hotel in Prague, and was met with like a beer when he arrived, and then there was like this soft, delicious robe waiting for him in his room. And
oh my God!
Room, and then when he was instantly drunk when I Skyped him, and someone knocked on the door and presented him with a full, delicious fruit platter.
Stop.
Yeah, and the thing that he learned on that trip was how easy he just started expecting that service.
Yes. Listen, SAG takes care of people.
Yeah,
SAG does it right. They don't treat their actors like fools.
No, absolutely not. Like, I got to fly first class a couple times, and I was like, this is just it for the rest of my life. I think we've talked about this before, but I was like, I get it. Yeah. I want personalized letters. Like, I could live like Beyonce. I wouldn't be too freaked out about it.
Yeah, once you kind of adjust to like having like certain nice novelties, like I do, like, you know what, I actually don't fly first class that often because I always fly Southwest and like JetBlue.
Really? Oh, right. That would make sense.
Which is fine. I actually love Southwest. JetBlue, whatever. Southwest, I'm actually down with. But yeah, these nice little extra perks are it. I love it.
Oh my God!
Anyone wants
Please.
you give me a plushy robe and some cheese and some booze. Good night and good luck. I'm out of here forever.
When I was in Vegas for Britney Spears, the hotel said I could keep the slippers, and let me tell you, I did, and I still wear them. They're delicious and wonderful.
I actually think about doing that all the time of like just taking, because when we were in Orlando, they had really nice robes in the hotel there, and I didn't take them, and I still kind of wish that I had. But I have nice robes at home that I don't really travel with, so I didn't really need it. But we just ordered online the same pillows that they have at Marriott's because now we're obsessed with the Marriott pillows.
Whoa,
that's what hotel life does to you. It gives you a skewed perspective.
Oh my God, but those pillows are nice.
They're really nice. I like that they change density. They've got different options. I bought random pillows at like Target and they suck.
They always suck. When we got married, we invested in like good like blankets and pillows. I mean, that's so lame. And we got a king size bed. So
that's nice.
Oh, splurge if you can.
King size bed changes the deal. I was actually thinking that the other day. I was like folding sheets at home for like our queen beds. We have a queen bed in one of our spare rooms. I was like, this seems so tiny now. But I used to always have a queen bed when I lived in New York, and that's all we ever slept in. And it's so weird that you just like adjust to having all this space now. It's great.
We had a double. We started with a double.
Man, you guys must have really loved each other.
No.
No, we did not.
The opposite. The absolute opposite. But so today we are going to be talking about conspiracy theories. I am going to buy crystals tomorrow just to let everyone know. Everyone can calm down. No one talk to me about it.
Well, now you have to. Brendan threw you right under that speeding bus driven by Keanu Reeves, and now you have to go get them.
Yeah, and then I have to become Sandra Bullock in Speed 2 and take over the bus myself.
What a good movie.
Oh, yeah. I love Sandra Bullock, by the way. Can I just say?
Sandra Bullock is fantastic.
Fantastic. Underrated.
So I just saw the trailer for the new Amy Schumer movie with her and Goldie Hawn. It's the same people that did the movie Heat, which is hysterical.
Oh.
Have you seen Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy?
Wait, so I have seen Heat. So wait, Sandra Bullock and Goldie Hawn are doing a movie now?
No, Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn. But it's the same people that did the movie Heat. That was great.
Oh,
so
I see what you're saying.
I'm hoping to get little shreds of how great Heat was in this other movie. I'll totally watch it.
And I also really like current day Goldie Hawn because she's really morphed into, and I don't think she is this, but she kind of just seems like your fun, boozy aunt.
Totally. I feel like she totally owns that.
Yeah.
I feel like, she's definitely into some crystals and some like essential oils, like 100%.
I think she gave Kate Hudson, and I don't know why I know this. Again, give me a map and tell me to find something. I won't, but I do know this. Kate Hudson, like she gave Kate Hudson like these like alkaline rods to hold to like center herself. That's what Goldie Hawn gave her for a gift.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, cool. Okay.
My mom knits me dish towels for a gift.
Oh, if my parents call me on my birthday, I'm like, whoa, cool.
Hey guys, thanks for the call. Much appreciated.
This year, I was convinced they would not call me, but
what?
They did. I was convinced they were not going to call me. It was late.
My mom's texted me 45 different times today. I just can't stand it. It's too much.
My parents don't even know my phone number. They now they call Brendan and they argue that that's my phone number, and I'm like, it's not. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into the theories of conspiracies.
Yes, let's.
Okay, so I did text you right before we filmed this. And I also love that you're watching wrestling in the back.
I'm just trying to see what's happening. There's a superstar shakeup happening currently. And John, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose, is currently on TV yelling at Miz and Maurice. But I can't hear them. Oh, now he's just hugging Maurice. Oh, he's hugging. Yeah, look at that. Love. Anyways, conspiracy theories. Let's do this damn thing.
Listen, we could take a pause. We can check out. We can dip our toe. Okay.
No.
Okay. No.
Listen, I'll get the gist. It's all good. I'll be able to watch it back later on the WWE app if anybody has it or doesn't have it.
I have the app.
Get the app, look it up. Or on Hulu, you can watch a 90-minute version. Bam.
It's true. And you know what? I sometimes watch that. And also, I had an odd dream where I was John Cena's assistant. Anyways, that's another dream. That's for our dream episode.
That would probably be a very tall order job.
Yeah, but it was just me yelling at him, telling him I was disappointed in his behavior.
Of course.
I was like, get your life together. He was just very tall.
It's too much.
So let's go into your first conspiracy. As I called you and or texted you, and you have many. So I'm excited. I think yours might win.
But I think that ours kind of overlap a little bit. But I think that's okay. So I'm going to start with my first one. Paul McCartney is dead. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't. I'm surprised.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Paul McCartney apparently died in 1966.
No way.
That he never got around to writing the song Maybe I'm Amazed. He never played in Wings, never had any children, is the claim here. So theorists have said that when Queen Elizabeth knighted him in 1997, that it actually wasn't him. There's been this imposter that has been playing Paul McCartney ever since 1966. And saying that the other Beatles helped to cover up his death.
What?
So they started to hide clues in their music throughout the time of having Beatles music. Have you heard any of this theory before?
No, I'm loving it.
Oh, so I have heard little nuggets of this, but when I did more like research on it to really find out like what the deal is, so it's saying the song Taxman, George Harrison wrote advice for those who die. I'm not even sure like exactly like what the reference for that would be other than that's just kind of a basic lyric. And then Sgt. Pepper's is apparently like riddled with all sorts of different clues to saying that Paul McCartney is dead. So in a day in the life, John Lennon wrote, he blew his mind out in a car, and apparently when it's played backwards, it's supposed to say, Paul is dead, miss him, miss him. And the clue is that he blew his brains out in a car. So I've heard this before, that when you play the song backwards, there's all these different like weird riddles and clues in there. Okay. And then Lennon also says, I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields. It's like a whispered thing that he says, I buried Paul.
At the end of the song?
Yeah.
Did you listen to it?
No.
Renee!
So because I don't think it would be on like a recorded version. I think it has to be on the vinyl. Of Sgt. Pepper's.
I think I have Sgt. Pepper.
I don't have Sgt. Pepper's. Vinyl. I've got like the White Album and Rubber Soul. But I don't have Sgt. Pepper, so I haven't been able to play it back. So yeah, I don't think that would exist on these other.
See, that always freaks me out when they're like, "There's a whisper on this song." I'm like, absolutely no, thank you. I remember they said Alanis Morissette had like a secret. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. She had a secret album, like on the tape or something. There was like this weird album, and I was like, I'm not even searching this. I don't want secrets on my CDs.
See, I love secrets on my CDs. I get so pumped when you let a song like play out for like a little bit. There's I think it's on one of Jack White's albums that it'll just kind of keep playing and playing and playing, and then it'll start picking up like 5 minutes later. But I love that if I'm listening to something and then there's like a secret song hidden on there. I live for that shit.
I mean,
love
how scary is that? Okay, go on.
And also in Yesterday and Today, the album cover shows them amidst raw meat and disassembled doll parts to show what had happened to Paul. And in Abbey Road, when they're crossing the street like a funeral procession, John is in all white as a clergyman, Ringo is in black to mourn, and George is in jeans as a gravedigger, and then Paul is in no shoes, and he's out of step with everybody else. So I think like that seems like it's a bit of a stretch to me of like really analyzing that stuff. But when people are looking for clues for this stuff, they're looking for some clues. But could you imagine Paul McCartney has achieved so much since 1966 you can't just have a fill-in step in and be one of the greatest musicians of all time. It was
the thing like Brent and I were talking about this when I was convinced Elvis is still alive, and he was like, why are people gonna go that like far? You know what I mean? Like Paul McCartney is dead. Like, you know what I mean?
So I actually feel like I understand when people want to fake their own death. Like I can imagine somebody like Elvis. It's like he was at the pinnacle of everything, and he still kind of is. I mean, it's Elvis. That he couldn't walk around, he couldn't live a life anymore. He was like spiraling out of control. He's doing drugs. Like he's just turning into a total mess. That sometimes you want to be able to totally disappear. But do I think that he'd hang out in Graceland still? Definitely not. But like,
but what about Linda? What about Linda McCarthy? Like that didn't happen? Like he wasn't with Linda?
Exactly. Like apparently that was not him that married Linda is what this theory is.
Crazy.
Is that it's like this step in fake Paul McCartney.
And they were so in love. I don't know.
I feel like there's no way. This seems like total bullshit to me, but there's some theorists that are like fully gung-ho about this theory that Paul McCartney has been dead. I actually think he did a tour that Paul McCartney lives or is live or something like that on a play of Paul McCartney is dead. Yeah, something like that. I've actually seen Paul McCartney in concert. Granted, I wasn't up super close, but I'm pretty sure that was not a marionette. I'm like, pretty confident that it was in fact Paul McCartney.
Here's the thing. It's like, I always like, I'm such a sucker, as we know, we both are, for these conspiracy theories. Like there's theories that like Hillary Clinton has a double and like, she was sick and is like dead or whatever.
I like buying into these things, and I like hearing them all out.
Me
just
too.
In case.
This was a
because
tough
you
one.
never know. I mean, who knows what these rich potential Illuminati focal points are, or what they're capable of. We don't know. We get excited when we get to keep robes and cheese trays.
Hello,
they're beyond that. They're well beyond that.
There is a theory with Britney Spears in relation to what we just talked about. That Britney Spears. What's that album? Back to Black. No, Back to Black is Amy Winehouse. What is that Britney Spears album where she had like the brunette hair?
God, I literally just had an Uber driver that played all of Britney Spears.
Blackout.
What album was it? The one with like Stronger
Blackout.
on it.
Oh no, Blackout is like the one that came out in 2007. This is like right after Shave Your Head, Britney. And the theory is that she has a backup singer who sounds exactly like Britney and like knows how to sing like her and sings backup. And she is the one who actually sang all of those songs on the album.
So I could believe that. I could totally believe that. And also, I feel like doing a Britney Spears voice is easy. Baby. Okay, that was like kind of shit. But if I really wanted to like try for a second to do it, I feel like I could do like a decent Britney.
Anyone can.
Anyone can, yeah. And if you want to like, especially when you think of like what a train wreck mess she was at that time, but like, damn man, she's got this machine, she's got people she needs to pay, and she needs to start.
Oh, totally.
If you just pay off this one chick to do like a confidentiality agreement and do like a one-time thing of like X amount of a shit ton of money, of course she's going to do it. And then you can just like hang out for a long ass time, like under the radar.
Well, there's also a theory that because if you see young Britney, she sang like an I don't even know, like a baritone. She was like that's how she sang as a child. I'm not even kidding, guys. Google it. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see. She's in this
I feel like I have actually heard something like that before of like seeing like, I mean, I remember like when Britney first came out and like, you'd see all these like young videos of her and it was like it was super deep.
It's her in like a black velvet dress just going and you're like, whoa, weird.
She was just trying to compete with a young Christina and she couldn't keep up. It's not her fault.
Oh, no. But it's crazy because it's like she really had a voice. And I was like, did she? But then the theory is that when she met Max Martin, who did her Baby One More Time, he convinced her to do the like, hey, like baby doll kind of voice. Yeah. And then she ruined her voice. So now this woman just sings for her. And I totally believe it. And also, like, remember the Pussycat Dolls?
Oh, I sure do.
If you look on the back of the album, Nicole Scherzinger, whatever her name is, she sang all the roles.
What?
Yes. Yes, so, in my investigation to this Britney thing, it led me to that.
I've actually wondered about because I follow one of the girls that was one of the Pussycat Dolls. Her name's Ashley.
Why?
Because the reason why I did, so she hosted a show for WWE. She was like, not like a TV host, but they did this show where it was like Gene Okerlund, Roddy Piper. There was a bunch of like old legends that they put up in a house, and she was like the girl that popped around to like check in on them, give them their like daily challenges or whatever it was they had to do. So I remember seeing that being like, who is that girl? She looked really pretty, and I was like, who is this girl? Is she competition for me? What's happening? Why don't I know who this is? So I looked up, I'm like, oh shit, it's like the girl from the Pussycat Dolls. Yeah. So I followed her on Instagram kind of since then, but I don't see her doing anything like musical. I actually don't really see her doing anything but just like living a life and going out to dinners and shit.
I mean, cool life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally cool life.
I think she's just a dancer because Nicole sang all of them.
Scherzinger has a great voice. You can't really knock her on that. Great bod, great voice.
Great bod, great voice. Sign me up. But she sang all of the parts, and they all lip synced constantly. They never sang live, just Nicole.
So she must have got paid way more. She was definitely the leader of the group.
I know, but I bet you she didn't get paid that much.
Oh, she didn't get paid that much. But she got paid more than the other girls for sure.
Maybe.
She was doing all the heavy lifting.
But record labels are just like crooks. You heard it here.
That's true.
I'm so scared by record companies because there's a lot of the conspiracy theories I was looking up were like pop culture related, and they all lead back to either the Illuminati or record labels being freaking crazy.
Both of those things are true. Those things are all true. So there's different levels of okay, so we're talking about Paul McCartney could be dead. Britney Spears didn't sing her album. There's all these different theories for all these people that, we'll never really get to the bottom of this unless we're able to kidnap Paul McCartney and give him a DNA test. Which I don't have those resources.
Paul, you're listening.
Here's the other thing that I know that you know a little bit about is the reptilian elite.
Yes, I was just watching a video right before we started. They're saying that celebrities are lizards, or there's a reptilian community.
So this is so outlandish to me, and it's obviously it's a little bit ridiculous. But again, there's so many people that are fully behind this entire theory. So it's saying that they're shapeshifters that are here among us, these lizard shapeshifters, and they're apparently here to enslave human beings. So
Justin Bieber.
That there are leaders, actors, high elite, people in the secret society, etc. And apparently this entire theory is supported by up to 12 million people.
Well, there's a book called Children of the Matrix, and it's about these shape-shifting reptilian people. And Brendan's like, "Oh, you guys going to talk about Children of the Matrix?" Brendan knows about it.
So there's another friend of mine that just gave me a book that I haven't read it. He literally just gave it to me last week, but it's about the conspiracy theory that we don't really exist. We're basically like Sims and physical reality doesn't actually exist. Because I was telling him that we were going to do this podcast and he really wants to come on, which would be great.
Please.
He would be a great person to have on because he's very educated on all of this stuff. But yeah, he gave me a book. So there's a lot of people that are super into all of these whack ass theories. But I feel like that's like Men in Black, right? Or that's exactly what that
Renee,
is.
Listen, I just saw 3 videos before we started chatting. One was Miley Cyrus up close doing an interview, and her eyes do change. It was creepy. Yes.
What do you mean they change? They blink sideways like a lizard?
Yeah, her eyes were normal, and then all of a sudden they went into lizard eyes, and then they went back.
I feel like she might have weird contacts or be on some very heavy drugs.
I saw that video with Miley Cyrus, and then I saw a video of Justin Bieber doing it, and then I saw a video of Barack Obama doing it. And then I thought I was going to get arrested because I was using the internet for evil.
So, there could be something to that. You never know. There's somebody when you think of Justin Bieber, essentially plucked from obscurity, plucked up, this internet sensations, are they born as the reptiles, or are they kind of turned into reptiles?
I don't know.
Does being the reptile distinguish? How do they find out they're reptiles? Because apparently not everybody knows that they're reptiles, right?
I know. It's just so outlandish to me. I feel like they just find the vessel. Is that
the holy grail of reptiles? Was it a hot rock and a wet sponge?
Yeah, Miley Cyrus just got bit by a bug and then just everything kind of changed.
God, that sounds fantastic.
I know. But I don't like reptiles in any capacity. I am struggling with this conspiracy theory, although it keeps coming up and I keep finding it. But lizards are gross and no, thank you, absolutely not. But
do they turn into upright walking lizards, or does just their skin change? Do they grow
It's the eyes.
Do they have tails? Do they have tails?
I think, again, we would have to probably call our best friend Jesse Ventura on this.
Yes.
To see if they do have tails. But I know for sure the ones I was researching, it's just in their eyes, and you see their eyes change, which is really bizarre.
So, and that's like, is that the most of the lizardness that we ever see, or do they get home and they're like, oh, finally, I can be my lizard self?
Miley Cyrus undoes her little bun. Her green scales show.
Just unzips from her skin later.
But it just, I mean, whether it's real or not, I love that, like, some guy named Gary or whatever is in his basement looking at weird clips of Miley Cyrus talking about her artistic integrity, going, that's a lizard, mate. That's a lizard.
It's so funny, though, to imagine, like, okay, so we're sitting here talking about it, not as actual conspiracy theorists, but just like we're talking about other people's idea. Think of this Gary in his basement. It's like, dude, I'm telling you, look at this shit. I'm telling you, she's a lizard. Like,
I don't know, Gary.
Like, just selling his friends. Like, his mom's upstairs being like, I don't know, we still talking about the reptiles. Like, she's calling family members about it.
He just needs to find a good girl with the lizards.
Like Gary needs to step away from the amphibian tank.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I struggle with that one.
It just seems so... I feel like it's those people that have too much time in their hands that are sitting in dark, dank basements discovering these weird lizards. But when you're saying that there's 12 million people, this isn't just a Gary. This is 12 million Garys.
This is 12 million Garys. And let me tell you, if you believe it, guess what? Your name is now Gary. And it just seems so crazy. Like, we're going to talk about the moon landing, right? Yes. Now, that one, I can easily be convinced.
Me too. That one I'm buying into.
Easily. I'm buying into it 1,000%.
Yep.
I only needed a photo of that rock and the lighting coming from the set off the guy's helmet, and I'm in.
There's so many theories that support the infactuality of us landing on the moon, that I feel like you're a fool to be like, yeah, of course we were on the moon. I don't know. Do you know what year that happened in? I didn't write that down.
Oh my God. I'll look it up right now.
Okay. This is how, like, I, like, half-assed do my research, but I, like, get caught up in, like, the other details of it. Okay, so apparently the whole thing that started with faking a land on the moon, and obviously this is a theory that so many people know a lot about or have heard about. They actually made a movie about the idea of the fake landing on the moon. I haven't seen it, but it's on iTunes. Have you seen it?
Operation Avalanche.
Yes.
So Operation Avalanche is, okay, it's so funny that you bring that up. Will be quick, but Brenda and I are obsessed with the show Nirvana, the band, the show. Okay. It's on Vice. It's about a band that just wants to get booked on the Rivoli, which is a place in Toronto.
Oh, yes, you told me about that.
Anyways, the director and the star of that show directed this movie, which is Operation Avalanche, where it's a group of CIA, I guess, like, newbies realize they're not going to get to the moon. Yeah. And so they try and fake it. They actually shot that movie on location in NASA, and NASA did not know they were making a movie. They said they were filming a documentary. They said, because he was at York University. What? Toronto. He's a film student. And he was like, hey, I'm going to... I'm a film student. We're doing a documentary on the moon landing. Can we come shoot on at NASA? And they were like, okay. So they, like, showed up in 1960s gear and, like, old timey cameras, and, like, so what you're seeing is, like, real people who work at NASA.
No effing way.
The movie is incredible, and I highly, highly recommend you go see it.
Isn't that shocking get it on iTunes. You could pull something like that off and just be like, yep, no big deal. Just a couple art students over here trying to make a movie.
Yeah, and it's about them faking the moon landing. Yeah.
Crazy.
They're Canadian. Yeah, Matt Johnson.
Good for them. Yes, Canada. Yes. I love everybody from Canada.
You should watch that movie. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's been on my radar for something to watch for a little while because, just the idea of the conspiracy of landing on the moon. Because apparently it all started because America was so, like, desperate to beat Russia for landing on the moon that's why they started this whole plot to be like, ha, Russia, suck it. We got up there before you. Enjoy your vodka. We're over here dancing on the moon. It's saying that Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, they had to act it out on a film set that was either, I guess the theory is that it's either, like, a set that was in the Hollywood Hills somewhere, or it was actually on Area 51 is where they filmed it. Really? And apparently Stanley Kubrick helped to make the video because when they did 2001 Space Odyssey, because they made that look so real, especially for the time that he came in to help make this fake video.
And funny enough, in Operation Avalanche, they incorporate Stanley Kubrick, and they took photos. I feel like this is like a promo now for this movie, but they took stills of Stanley Kubrick and somehow animated it, and it looks like real Stanley Kubrick walking around talking to the guy.
No way.
Dude, this movie's nuts. And also, so it's like, it's crazy you brought that up, because it's like, yeah. Because in that movie, in Operation Avalanche, a guy who actually works at NASA was like, oh yeah, there's tons of places on... in the States that look like the moon. And then they're like, oh, and then they go to those places and it looks like the friggin' moon.
Well, it's like, you know how many times, like, we're driving, if you take the drive from Las Vegas to LA, it looks like the moon. It all looks like the moon. We'll go for hikes places in Vegas and, like, everything out in the desert looks like the moon. It's a trip.
It's crazy.
Even being up in Zion, you see all this like wacky red rock and stuff, and not that that's like the moon, but if you were to change the colors of it and stuff, like 100%.
And then it's like certain things, like the flag was waving funny, and then like the rock with the C on it, it looks like it's a prop, because in film and stuff, props are like labeled, so you know where they're going. I was like, absolutely. And then you can see the studio lighting, they say, in the helmet, in the reflection of the helmet in one of the photos. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah, I saw that. And like back on the flag movement thing too, is that apparently the flag movement is entirely impossible because there's the weather on the moon is not, it would not wave a flag. It's supposed to be more like a vacuum suction without the wind. And
there was no stars anywhere.
None.
Hi, you're on the moon.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. I don't think that we ever landed on the moon.
I don't think we did either. Although I will say the creator of that movie, because I went into a deep dive with interviews, because I'm weird like that, he was like, having tried to do it, I highly believe that we went to the moon. He's like, I don't think we faked it. And I was like, God damn it.
What?
I know, because I totally believe that it was fake. I totally believe it was fake.
I was watching this, I think it's called The Edge of the Universe. I think that's what it's called. It's one that Alec Baldwin narrates.
Okay.
It just like zooms around like through our solar system, like in our galaxy, and it like bounces. It's really, really cool. But they like bounce around to all the different planets that are in our solar system. And it explains why there's not life on any of them, what the atmosphere is, how they test it.
Right.
But yeah, to imagine like we have that technology for this movie, which is all like computer generated, like special effects and stuff. But it's like, if we were able to have that kind, like when you see footage of anything, they're on like these little like shitty rover things that like, there's no way. I think it's all bullshit.
Oh man, I'm curious what the listeners will think. Are we crazy? Are we not? Listen, I don't know. I'm just a woman who reads things, you know?
I like to read things too, but faking the moon landing, I 100% buy into. I do not think Paul McCartney's dead. No. And I'm on the fence with the reptilians. Gary, you're going to have to sell me a little harder.
Yeah, Gary, send us some more info. I am going to send you that Miley Cyrus clip. You'll probably laugh your ass off.
Please.
But it's so
funny.
Send
me that, because what that will do is it'll send me into the wormhole of clicking on all these other videos of other people with weird blinking eyes.
For our next episode, I'm going to deep dive more into the Hillary Clinton thing. But during the campaign, people claimed that she was really sick, which was like kind of
that was true, right?
Yeah, she was sick. But like there's like these videos of her like collapsing and then like an hour later being totally fine and like being really weird and all this green screen stuff. And I was like,
maybe they just gave her like really weird like adrenaline shots or something. She's like, I'm
they
fine.
Do with athletes.
Like you see people like all the time. Like my dad works in music, and anytime if like there's like a singer sick or like someone's got to do a show, they can find stuff to get them through a couple hours of a show.
Oh my God, my mom has a bad back. She's like, I got a cortisone shot in my back. And
Totally.
I was like, what?
Totally, exactly. It's like you can just pump some stuff in there and move on with it.
She was like, it's fine. It's like healthy. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's definitely not healthy. But yeah, you're in a presidential debate. You can't take a sick day.
Hell no.
You think those commercials for Benadryl or whatever where it says moms can't take a sick day, nor can the president.
No.
Or the woman trying to be president.
Yeah.
I can only say so much about that.
Oh, I wish she was our president. Have we covered the moon landing enough, do we think? I think we have.
I mean, I think in like regards to what I have on deck, yes.
Oh, what do you have on deck?
Oh, no, I don't mean to have anything. The only other thing I have on deck, I feel like we shouldn't talk about.
Oh, okay. No, I was like, this other piece of moon information.
Oh, no more moon information. But I do think that the Stanley Kubrick part is a critical piece of information to this. When you really look, If you go back and look at 2001 Space Odyssey and then you're able to watch this video, it's like the timing of it all, it all is a little too perfect.
And it's also like, I mean, it would be so easy to fake that in that time.
Are you mad that they faked it? Should we be enraged that they faked it, or should we just be like, whatever, fake it till you make it, man, America?
I mean, listen, I'm here trying to just get by, you know? Sure, I'll fake the moon landing. If someone was like, hey, like right now in my life, if they're like, hey, we're like maybe going to fake this Mars thing. Could you just like put on this weird hat and say, welcome to Mars, and here's like $1,000? I'd be like, where do I sign? Sure. Welcome to Mars.
Gosh, what's the Matt Damon movie where he's on Mars?
Oh, The Martian.
The Martian. I will mention this because John threw me under the bus on Total Divas when we were on it. I walked out of the movie and thought that it was real. Like I thought, not that Matt Damon was on Mars, but I thought that humans had been on Mars for sure. I was like, yeah, like, and he's like, are you serious right now? I'm like, yeah, like, didn't that happen? I don't know. There's so much confusion. We're always finding new planets. Apparently there's like 8 new planets that all could potentially harbor life. One of them's supposed to be like Earth. There's a lot of opportunities out there for a lot of people to live.
We all make mistakes, okay? Was I teaching my teen class last week and I said I need a location, and they said the Vatican, and then one girl said, what's the Vatican? And then the other kid said, it's a place in I don't know, I think it's in like Europe. And I was like, guys, it's in Italy. Get it together. And Brendan's like, it's in Rome. Like, just so stupid. I was like, the Vatican.
But Rome's in Italy.
I mean, yeah, but I just like was unsure as well about what the Vatican situation was.
I was not aware that Vatican City is actually separate from, it's like its own thing.
I had to look that up.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was in Rome and I didn't go into the Vatican City, which I regret having not done. But yeah, it's its own little like island of Vaticanness in the middle of Rome.
Jeez, I just feel like but I'm like, how do I know about Goldie Hawn's alkaline rods? And I can't yell at a 14-year-old about the history of the Vatican. I was like, I gotta get my life together. I was just driving home really upset.
Meant to retain certain information. That information you can look up. You can't just look up Goldie Hawn's electric rods or whatever the F they were.
It's so embarrassing. It was a very quiet drive home where I was like, get it together.
Start making some moves and some plans. I keep doing that with things where I'm like really trying to like do other things to have my life together, like learning to play guitar, which I need to pick back up, like finishing off my French, which I haven't done in like weeks. I get like these excited ideas where I'm like, I'm going to learn things. I'm going to make myself better. And I'm like, no, I want to sit and watch a movie, or I want to flip through a magazine, or I want to take a nap, or I want to go to the dog park.
Totally. Those all sound like my favorite things and the only things I want to do.
Yes, I love it.
No, yeah. Okay, so I have one that I would like to talk about, which is Brendan thinks I'm crazy.
Okay.
But it's this idea of crisis actors. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of this. So wait,
it's crazy.
You texted it to me and I didn't understand, but I think I know. Yes, elaborate. I think I know what you're talking about, though.
The miscommunication could be from my not spelling it correctly. I don't know.
No, you spelled it right. I just was like overwhelmed. I think you were right.
So crisis actors essentially, and like obviously I don't mean any disrespect to any of the situations, but it's like basically people that are on the news that are like, oh yeah, I saw that, or like whether it's a tragedy or like a crime or something like that, and they say, oh yeah, I was there, or I'm a part of that, and then it's like revealed that they're actually just actors, like being like paid to pretend.
And that was part of the thing from like, I guess like this is a lot of the theories that come from like how 9/11 was an inside job, how like certain things have been faked.
But I think it's also like the news being like narrated, like, you know, like there was a thing that I was looking up that a girl was like reporting. It was just today I found it. She was like reporting like, oh, there was like these murders and this is crazy and I'm here all day. And then someone snapped a picture of it because it was like her behind like yellow tape. But when someone snapped a picture, it was just a piece of the caution tape right behind her, like on 2 poles. Like there was not a crime scene. They had faked the crime scene. It's
what?
Like, and that's real. So then I was like, oh,
so nobody actually died?
I think they did, but like she wasn't there and was pretending to be there. Does that make sense?
Oh,
like, she was like,
I get it. So she's like, I'm on the scene for this murder. That the murder actually took place, but she's not actually at the murder.
Yeah, and she's like, and she was there for hours. Like, it's getting crazy here, and like, there's so much, like, you know. I'm doing this to Renee, pretending to hold a microphone while talking into a microphone. That's how stupid I am. But I was like, whoa. And then so Crisis Actors is like, you know, and there's some videos and I've showed Brendan and he thinks I'm insane. He's like, this is not the same woman. But it's like in 4 different instances, this woman was like at the center of these like, you know, large news broadcasts as a witness.
See, like, to me, like, all those things are just like further extensions of like secret society, Illuminati people taking over the universe and controlling the universe. Because if you're able to control the news and have like your hands in the news, like I was trying to do so much research during like the presidential debate in the campaigns that to try to find which news source was the most accurate, because everything's so swayed. Everybody's only going to give you the information that they want, and like to where they get the benefit as to what side of the news that they're sharing is like, that's fascinating to me.
It's crazy. And it's true. It's like, you know, who do you believe? Anyone but Fox, I think, but that's just me.
Yeah, that seemed to be the general consensus when I looked on it.
I will say, this is a quick story, as I was teaching like kids like 8 and under, and I was drinking out of Brendan's work water bottle, like Fox Sports Live, and the one kid goes, "Don't tell me you watch Fox."
Oh, these kids like are too much. They're too much. You need to start picketing, and you need to just like, or like, take them on like some weird real life kind of excursion.
Yeah. They just have to follow me budgeting while I'm grocery shopping at Trader Joe's. That'll be a real life lesson.
Hey, I want to give a follow up to your Trader Joe's lavender scrub mention, because it's very good. I got it and I love it.
Isn't it amazing?
It's fantastic.
It's cheap. It's amazing. It does the trick. And also, if I can give you another quick suggestion in between this conspiracy theory, we'll do a quick primping. I just started using Tom's peppermint toothpaste from Trader Joe's. I mean, I know it's not from Trader Joe's, but they just have it. It's a natural toothpaste. It's a bit of a Dr. Quinn regular girl hot tip. It's amazing.
Really?
It's amazing. My breath has never felt... I brushed my teeth with it today for the first time. I have not worried about bad breath all day. And like I've eaten,
my God, that's great.
Like not once. My tongue feels super, super clean. My mouth feels super, super clean. Brendan always struggles with bad breath all the time. And he was like, his breath is incredible. He's like, this toothpaste changed my life. Yeah.
Really? Oh, I'm going to go get some. I have been like, I feel like the last like 6 months, I've been so obsessed with like dental hygiene. Like it takes over a lot of my thoughts.
You got to.
I love I just love brushing my teeth.
Oh my God, I love how it's like
brushing my teeth. I love a good flossing. I just like to get in there. I want to have a good clean mouth. I want to be able to whisper in anyone's face that I deem whisperable.
Totally.
I want to get in there. It's just so funny.
It's so funny how we're like, let's talk about ghosts and conspiracies, and here's the Illuminati. Also, I just want to fucking brush my teeth. Everyone's going to be like,
girls at it again.
They'll be like, wow, the podcast was amazing until like minute 47 when it really took a really hygienical turn.
Took a bit of a turn.
Such an idiot.
Well, I mean, there's only so many conspiracy theories that I think that we can really hash out. I would really love us to get a conspiracy theory guest on. I said that before and I still stand by it. So I'm going to try to get my friend to come on to do our next one when we do it.
Yes. I'll end my last one is this thing called chemtrails. Have you heard of this?
No.
I feel like Jay Leno. You heard about this? So chemtrails is essentially, you know, like when planes fly over you and they leave like a white, like the white kind of line. So not all planes leave that. That's not just something planes do. And so the theory is that they're actually dropping like chemicals and like certain like air things.
To keep us docile or what?
Well, the theory is it's like either it's keeping people like it makes people sick, or like why does everyone have all these allergies all of a sudden now, like compared to like years and years ago? Like this is just the conspiracy, but it's like, so ever since I've learned about chemtrails, and there's this woman who's like been fighting for it and like studies it and is like, this is this type of chemtrail and this is this one. So it's like the idea that they're like dropping chemicals and things and testing things on us. And so I was like, this is kind of crazy. And then I started watching planes in the sky, and some planes just fly across me and there's none. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'll walk out one day and there's like 12 million like white like clouds from...
It's actually a really good point. Like I see tons of them out where we are, because we have like the army bases and like we've got so many out near us. But it is interesting when you think about like even like there's like the conspiracy that there is a cure for cancer or like cures for certain illnesses that they just haven't released because people are making money off of the medication stuff. Like how gross and like that's so insane to imagine if that's real.
I mean, I hope to God that is not real because if there is a cure, like obviously, but it's like pharmaceutical companies are so corrupt. Like I really wouldn't put it past them. And it's like, that's like a touchy subject, obviously, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. And this chemtrail thing is nuts. I like, honestly, people recommend, check it out. It's so weird. And you're like, oh, and it's like, you never even think about it.
Yeah, it's, you don't even think about like, what is that? If it's things like that where it's like, yeah, like allergies or like just putting other stuff in the air, like these different pollutants that like end up messing with us that make us have to buy different medications and stuff. When you think of like how much of that stuff we don't even know about, because it's not like people are like, at least I'm definitely not up like searching like where the money's coming from or like how funded certain medicines are and stuff. It's like they have crazy. So much backing for different things that you probably wouldn't even be aware of for them to just be like, yeah, we need to like that is like some like evil. I just picture like Mr. Burns at his desk, like
totally.
Oh my god,
totally. Isn't that creepy? It was so funny because Brendan, we kind of just touched on conspiracy theories last week a little bit, just on what we had talked about. Yeah. He's like, you guys are crazy. Like this doesn't exist. I mean, the Illuminati that doesn't exist, but I'm sure that there's
Illuminati 100% exists. I believe in that 100%.
For sure. And it was funny because Brendan's like, I mean, it doesn't, but I mean, there for sure is like a small group of people, like an elite people that meet in like small hotels and they like
the
discuss
Illuminati,
what's happening.
Brendan.
Yeah, I know. He's such an idiot. But this, but yeah, so it's like this chemtrail thing is really, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even question that kind of stuff. I've just become such a passive like person. And then I'm like, but now I sound insane.
But no, everybody is the problem. Everybody's so passive. Everybody's just on their phone. Everybody's busy looking down. Is like nobody pays attention to stuff like that. I actually like the time. I mean, we're only in Zion for a couple days, but like my whole thing going out there was that I wasn't going to have my phone on. I was going to be on airplane mode. Like
that's amazing.
To just not be in that. Like to just be more aware of your surroundings because for the most part, nobody is aware of anything except for what's happening like in their phone on their like in their hand.
Oh, 1,000%. I'm so bad at that, especially now that like Harry Styles just dropped that new song. It's all I can listen to. Yeah, and I'm just looking at that phone, looking at his face.
Checking it out. Replay. Zoom in.
Replay. Hello.
It is true, though. I mean, when you just like nobody pay. And even if you look at like the theory of like I'm sure Apple's got some kind of thing involved in this of like trying to distract humans from real life shit.
Well, here's the thing. It's like I have a friend whose brother works for, I believe, Microsoft. And he was like, the technology that they are currently working on will blow your mind. Like, I remember when Xbox came out and it could like recognize when you walked in the room. Yeah. I only know that because I'm married to a nerd. But he was like, oh, Stacey, like that's not even, like they had that years ago. Like what they have now is like beyond.
There's so much.
What is happening?
Yeah, like there's the technology side of things is really, really scary. I actually think it would be like cool to go to like one of those like tech conventions just to like see some stuff. Like even when I've been at like South by Southwest and see some of the stuff that they have there, like even just like the virtual reality stuff to like. I mean, there's so many people that even get like when people like switch the cameras on people's like laptops to be able to like film them and stuff. Like everything's like hackable. It's so scary. It's such a scary, futuristic, like Fifth Element world that we're living in.
I called Apple and I was like, hi, I need help. Like I bought this album. I was complaining because I bought Adele and it wasn't downloading. Anyways, and I was like, excuse me, miss, the white wine's in the fridge. I need to get afternoon drunk and listen to this.
Good cry. Let's get it going. Tick, motherfucking talk.
And she was like, oh, well, can I take over your computer? And I had to like agree. And then she like took over my computer and like figured it all out.
Whoa.
I know. And she was really nice, but I was really freaked out. And like, look at like
so crazy.
Oh yeah. And like, look at Snapchat, like Snap, which I love for the filters, but prefer Instagram stories anyways. But when it goes onto your face, it's like, sometimes the filters are just nice, realistic makeup. And it's very bizarre.
And dead on. Like your lashes are right on your lash line. Your lip liner adjusts to your actual lip shape. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. And also, this is kind of pertaining to conspiracy theories, but I will give an update. I think my phone is like, I think I'm getting haunted.
Why?
For sure. Well, okay. So 2 things have happened recently. This was a hard transition from
It's okay.
technology.
I actually have a haunted story now that you mention it. I also have one.
So, I'm pretty sure it's my grandmother. I think she's haunting me. And I know that because I asked her specifically to haunt me before she passed away. I was like, can you just haunt me? And she was like, get out of here. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, it was a lot sweeter than that. But anyways, we have a thing framed from my bridal shower where it was like advice to the bride and groom. And hers was, may your problems be small. And it says, love, Nanny. So it's framed into my kitchen. And
no, I don't think I knew that you called your grandma Nanny either. I called my grandmother Nanny.
I know, because you got your tattoo Nanny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nanny. And people thought when I was like super rich when I was young.
Me too. I
like,
still get that because people ask me about my tattoo. I'm like, oh, it's for my nanny. They're like, grow up. I'm like, no.
What are you, Corinne from The Bachelor?
I thought that was like a standard grandmother name, Nanny.
Me too. But she was British, right? Was she, or English? My grandmother was Scottish.
No, but I mean, we're Canadian. They're of that descent.
It's true. So we have that framed, and we got like Brendan's like we got like news or something. It was just like a shitty day, and I was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? What's going on? Like we're just kind of freaking out. Like what are we gonna do with our life? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the thing I have like a coaster from Prague. That's funny that came back. That Brendan got me from his trip. That popped off like up high into the sky, off to the side. Like nothing else moved. There wasn't a shift. We weren't in the kitchen. We were sitting in the living room. Popped off in a way that like would not make any sense. And I'm like, what the hell? And I go to pick it up and I realize it's right beside that thing. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, are you haunting me? And I was just screaming in the kitchen, Nanny, are you haunting me?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like, give me the lottery tickets. What is the lottery numbers this week? But so after that, all of a sudden now my phone goes off, like Siri. And I'm not like talking to Siri. Yeah. And I'm like, and it will just say like, hi, Stacey, how are you? Like out of nowhere.
That's weird.
So I was like, I think that's my grandmother. Now a listener did say, and I guess this brings it back to the tech, is that Siri is always recording your voice constantly. So she's like, it's either that. And I'm like, I'm going to just choose to believe that it is my grandmother haunting my cell phone. Yeah, I prefer
that theory. I prefer to think that it's like Nanny reaching out.
Because it'll be like, I'll say like, oh, like, what are we going to go to eat? And all of a sudden, like, the phone is across the room and it's like, here are some places that come up to eat. And I'm like, what?
Ew, yeah, that stuff's scary. I mean, that stuff is like Apple tech stuff is just like a classic like check-in, like, hey, how are you doing? Like, that's creepy.
That's creepy, and I'm choosing to believe that it's just a regular day haunt. It's just a regular day haunt.
And that's what I think. So I actually think that it might be my nanny that is haunting me as well.
Really?
Yes.
Renee.
I know. Because the reason why I think this is because this stuff never happens when John's around. It's always just when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Which is another theory that you just lose your mind a little bit more when you're by yourself and you like psych yourself out to be afraid. But I was sleeping last night. I went to bed like pretty early. I was like so exhausted yesterday. So I went up to bed. I had Blue in bed with me. I'm sleeping to Frasier because I always do. It was like, this is the worst part, which makes me not think it was my nanny. But I checked my phone right when it happened. It was 3:07, and 3 o'clock is the demonic hour.
Really?
Yes. So I'm sleeping and like sound asleep, but like, you know, in like your Apple TV or whatever, or your Netflix, it says you're still watching this and it'll shut down. Yeah. I usually always like wake up a little bit after it stopped playing to replay it because I just need like an extra sound in the house or whatever.
Right.
So I'm sleeping and woke up to this loud bang, like right by the head of my bed. Like it sounded like a heavy glass with water, and it fell over. So I jumped up thinking that my glass of water by the bed had crashed. So I like jumped up, then Blue jumped up, and like I thought that it might have been Blue, and I was like, oh shit, like because he was like sleepy and like trying to see what happened as well, and I was like, what the hell was that? Like, and it was right by my head of the bed,
really,
like on the wall, like it was like right beside the bedpost of just like this loud bang. I have no idea what it was. Nothing fell. I didn't see anything on the ground. Like there was nothing there, but it was like it sounded like a slosh of water and a hit. And yeah, it like scared the shit out of me. I woke up and like I just like put the TV back on, but I was like, okay, nothing else happened and I guess it's fine, but like it like startled me from my sleep. Yeah, it was really scary. So normally I think when things like that happen, I always think that it's my nanny, and a lot of times like when John's not home, Blue will get up and he always looks at the crack underneath the bedroom door when you close it. He always gets up and he just like stares at it and looks at it and his ears move up and down like he's like seeing something. He does it all the time, but he never, ever, ever does it when John's home.
For sure. That's a ghost, no question. Dogs are so immune. Like, so,
I know.
Was it attuned to it? Yes. Oh my God. You should, next time that happens, you should be like, what do you want?
Yeah.
What
can I help you with? Oh my God, I think I'm way too much of a pussy to do it, because if it answered me back, I might like actually need a set of Depends.
No, well, as a woman who has seen her spirit guide, who's a tall man in a suit.
That's the most fascinating story I think I've ever heard, at least in the last year.
I should tell you, we saw a tall man in a suit walking past a Target, and Brendan goes, oh, look, it's your spirit guide. Maybe he needed stuff from Target. But I started taking it one step further from my Reiki lady, Sarah. She said that you could find stuff on YouTube to like find your spirit guide. So I've started to do that, just meditations going into bed. Yeah. My God, the sleeps are incredible. Deep sleeps.
Really?
Weird. Yeah, but like, anyways, but you should ask.
So, yeah, because I still haven't been able to go do Reiki. I did look it up and found a place in Vegas. It looks like it would be pretty good. So I'm hoping to go get my Reiki and hope that I find out if I'm haunted or if maybe I also just have some kind of spirit guide. I don't know, but I need a little help because it scares me.
Apparently, though, look into this because not all Reiki masters or Reiki people see visions. So,
I want someone that sees visions.
I know. So we'll look in. I'll see what she has recommendations for in Vegas, because I think
and if not, I'll just come to your girl in LA.
Oh my God, it's so good. But
I really want to do it.
But next time that happens to Renee, just be like, "What's going on?" Because I just frantically will go like, "Nanny, like what do you need?" But she doesn't say anything. But now my phone now it's just
call out my nanny, and maybe if it's not my nanny, she'll be the one that steps in to tell this other ghost to back off, because she's a sassy woman that won't take any shit.
Then you gotta bait your nanny.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna start like baking her scones and stuff. I'm just like making all the stuff she makes. Make nanny, help a sister out because I need you right now.
Yeah, totally.
Look it up.
Absolutely. Well, I think we did it. Do you think we
did it?
We
up and done did it.
I'm back. So happy that you're back.
With regular girl. Sorry, Brendan, but I had to kick you out.
I'm excited for some future crystal updates. Also, I think it's interesting that you put crystals near your bed and all of a sudden you had something happen near your bed, which is your grandmother. Yeah, that's true. And it's rose quartz too. So that's like love, and like you had a very deep relationship with her. Yeah. I can. Yeah, I know. Like I feel like anytime something like that happens, I don't know if I mentioned this. Did I mention this on the Ghost podcast of when my nanny died and this song came on called Vaya con Dios? Did I tell you this? Maybe, but I don't remember. And that is something I would remember. I found out that she passed away. We had a pay-per-view, so my mom waited till I was done to text me to tell me she passed away. So we were driving, and this song came on. It was all in Spanish, called Vaya con Dios. And it was like, it means go with God. And like my grandmother's not Spanish at all, but it was still just like a random song. Crazy. We were not listening to a Spanish radio station either. It just like came on. But then what is like weird on top of that is the first time that I was going out to see my cousin, who I'm really close with in LA, the first time I was going out to see her since my grandmother passed, as soon as I turned onto her street, that song started playing on the radio again. See, that's crazy. Isn't it? That's crazy. That's like her song. Yeah. Yeah. It blew my mind. Yeah, it was a trip. Dude. So there's definitely like signs and things like that exist. 100%. Whoa, that's awesome. Yeah. Pretty good. That's awesome. Shout out to nannies all over the world. Oh, call your nanny if you're listening to this. Call your nanny. Yes, call them. They're so great. Oh my God. Absolutely. They're such great women. Yeah, just let them know. Make them a drink. God, what else do we have to do for you? I actually ordered rosé the other day in a bar because my nanny always used to drink rosé. I'm like, I'm going to start making that my summer drink, is to just have rosé all the time. Oh, rosé all day. Damn right. I was going to say that, but I forgot. That made me so basic. Yeah. I love it. It's everywhere. It's fine. It's ingrained in all of our brains to say rosé all day. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I guess to conclude, we need a Renee ghost. Okay, Brendan tried it. Yeah, I'm ready for it. Ooh. Ew, that was like deep. No, but you're taking back your spot there. That was a big, pronounced, confident. Here I am.
Stepping in. I'm stepping in. I'm back. I'm ready to wave this weave all around town.
Oh my God, I'm loving the weave, by the way, and I loved the WrestleMania outfit. We didn't even talk about that real quick.
Thank you.
So
yeah, I was
sassy.
really happy with it too.
Oh my God,
it all worked out.
And that dress for the Hall of Fame was great too.
Yeah,
I feel like a creep.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of floral prints.
I do feel like a weirdo being like, "Hey, I saw you on TV. Cool outfit."
To be fair, I like being on TV to wear cool outfits, so I'll take it.
While you were all decked out, just realized I was knee deep in a French onion dip, getting bloated from some brews.
Well, it's okay. I'm gonna have some wine and watch some wrestling right now, and order some food.
We're living life. Well, guys, follow us on the things. Tell people about the cast.
Yep.
And let's just have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody. Have a great week. Live long, prosper, conquer, crush it.
I love it.
Rosé all day.
Rosé all day by a crystal. That's all we can say. Bye, guys.